Remember Tron? Didn't we make that like 30 years ago? Right, but now it is a huge cult following. That sounds like we should sink a bunch of money into a sequel and then give it to a first-time director. That sounds like a great idea. Yeah! Seriously, do you just have to be a cult hit these days to get a sequel? Looks like the Davidians are in for a treat. Admittedly though, product placement would be easier for Jonestown. Honestly though, Disney has been pushing Tron Legacy like crazy. There's been a billboard up on Santa Monica Boulevard for a year. If you aren't familiar with the original film, don't worry about it. It barely matters. Jeff Bridges was initially the hero, but now he's the dad, and he's gone, so you have to find him. And oh, hey, what's that over there? 3D! 3D! There are so many Ds! 3 of the D! But wait, it's not all 3D. In fact, there's a disclaimer at the very beginning of the movie that tells you that parts of it are in 2D, parts of it are in 3D. Initially I was like, haha Disney, I'm onto your games. You're gonna pull a Wizard of Oz and it's gonna start out in 2D, and then as soon as we get on the grid it's gonna be in 3D and we're gonna be like, whoa, nope. Sometimes it's 2D, sometimes it's 3D. Hey, let's make that part 3D. Nah, let's go back to 2D. And you'd think they could at least make evil motion capture Jeff Bridges look good. Hey Disney, you wanna know what looks a lot like Jeff Bridges? A Jeff Bridges look-alike? George Lucas cast David Prowse for Darth Vader, not because of his voice. And I was almost on board with this idea, thinking that they were gonna have him only exist on the grid. Wrong again. He is in the first scene playing opposite a very real boy, his son. And that connection is lost. Alright, let's jump into the plot. I actually don't have many complaints up until a certain part. The first half of the movie is fun in my opinion. We meet our character. Oh, now he's in the computer. He's a fish out of water. He learns the rules of the game. Identity disc battles. Evil CGI Jeff Bridges 3D. Cool light cycles. Cool getaway with mysterious character. Surprise, it's sexy chick Olivia Wilde. And then we meet real Jeff Bridges, and this is when, surprisingly, everything goes south. So I guess when they pitched the idea to Jeff Bridges, he was like, I don't know, I kind of prefer Big Lebowski to Tron. And they were like, don't worry, we can make the two of them sync up. So Flynn, he's not into computer programming anymore. What is he into? Oh, you know, Zen and shit. He's even got a Tron robe. You have to understand that I was really trying to like this movie, and up until this point, I was. But this, and what's about to come next, took major points off the scorecard. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the movie, and you're planning on it, click the annotation right here, jump on ahead in the review. Oh, you're in an embedded site? Okay, that's fine. Jump to this number in the player, and then you'll be fine. But oh shit, oh god, I'm about to spoil some plot! Let's talk about Clue's plan. It's completely illogical. So Clue is programmed to make a perfect society, which he does after he sees control from his master and committed genocide, mind you. And then he's like, let's go out and fix the outside world. How does that work? Maybe I missed it cluttered among all the bullshit, but okay, so they have Flynn's disc and that's how they get out. But how the hell are they gonna get the entire army through? It's a tiny ass shaft of light. And even when they do make it through, real people don't burst into digital bits when they're hit with batons and discs. Dumbass. But I suppose if Flynn can activate God mode and randomly absorb Clue into his body and then cause like a supernova to go off, I suppose that logic works then. There, I'm done with it. Let's move on. I will say, however, that Tron Legacy is probably the best option for this week's release. However, that's not saying much when it's up against bland rom-com How Do You Know and kitty fodder Yogi Bear. To briefly address How Do You Know, I think it's a general rule of thumb if you just want your film to be mediocre, you should look no further than the title and be sure to make it a question. Now on to Yogi. I guess Hanna-Barbera saw that Alvin and the Chipmunks was such a huge success and decided they had to throw their hat into the ring. But why on earth would they cast the odd couple to voice their bears? I'm sure Dawes Butler is rolling in his grave. This movie could have acted as a breakthrough role for any number of voice actors, but instead they gave it to Dan Aykroyd, who is probably going to use this check to just try to bribe Bill Murray into doing Ghostbusters 3. Despite a muddled middle section attributed mostly to cluttered conflict, Tron Legacy improves vastly upon its original. The film offers a ton of eye candy, the action sequences are incredibly engaging, Daft Punk score rocks, and the film's final moments actually make you forget a lot of the minor qualms because it's so touching. I give Tron Legacy 4 bits out of 8. As for the future of Tron, I'm sure we can expect a sequel, but it'll be in like the next 30 years.